What does it mean when a transaction is arm's length? So first of all, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I was talking with a Chicago developer today, and they're trying to find creative ways to get their financing done because they bought properties for really, really cheap. And we had to talk about this because one of the suggested routes would have been to sell the property to basically a partner to try to get as-is value for the property. And I advised that's not going to fly with most institutional lenders, if you will, because the transaction would not be arm's length. Arm's length is basically you selling the property to someone you don't have a prior relationship with. Now, banks and stuff will do arm's length transaction or non-arm's length transactions. You have to disclose something like that. If you're buying from an uncle or something like that, and it's been in the family for a while, but you want to purchase it, oftentimes those will be allowed. Obviously, lender guidelines, control that, but generally speaking, it's not prohibited. However, like on investment properties where you're trying to kind of get around something, people are going to catch on to it, and you shouldn't do that, right? What you should really do, which is what these investors and I talked about, was how do you set yourself up to get the most equity out and still get the project done while minimizing cash into the deal, which is what a lot of experienced investors want to do. So in this particular case, I said, hey, don't do that. But you could certainly sell the property to an unrelated third party. That would be an arm's length transaction, but trying to sell it to yourself, lenders due diligence, there's title work, and those things are going to be found. So don't try to put that under the rug. Certainly disclose if you're doing something like that so that you can be provided the best creative solution to get the most cash out. And in this case, we recommended making sure the cost basis was tracked, even soft costs. And this scenario had some specific soft costs related to it. So they weren't doing that and didn't think that they could count that, but they can. So if you're trying to get cash out of a deal, you need to be tracking your cost basis. I know this was kind of a ramble of a video, but the big message here is if you're going to do a non-arm's length transaction, meaning you're going to transact with someone that you have a prior relationship with, you need to disclose that so you don't run into issues down the road. Once title work's pulled, background and all that stuff, and then someone finds out that you're related, you could kill the deal in the process. So the message is disclose if you have a relationship with the seller, so that the best course of action can be taken, or simply that it can be approved. So that's it for today.